Hello, my name is Matthew Connor. I'm a junior. Um, I've been in AHS for a little over 3 years. I went to Wolf Lake. Um, Something kind of memorable that happened with the school was in between me and some of the guidance counselors. I know teachers normally don't like listening to stuff like this, but I'm just gonna say it just in general, just because it kind of gives an insight as to why I am how I am when it comes to the school. Um, there was a lot of, and still is, but it's not as bad, but there was a lot of bullying going on for a really long time. And one incident in particular um, kind of stuck with me and will for a really long time, but I was in the restrooms and a boy came up to me and threatened to cut off my penis um, next time I go into the restrooms. Um, I left school for over 3 months. This was last year, my sophomore year. And it took about 2 weeks to get a hold of someone on the phone because I wouldn't go back to school. No. Um, I had emailed my guidance counselor, and finally, after that, all of a sudden, we get a call that my computer's missing, and I feel like I'm probably gonna say her name wrong, but Miss Willards, I think, was the one, and she called Mr. Hines and told him what had happened, because we told her because we hadn't been able to get a hold of anyone up until then, so she's the one that actually made them know. But they told me that they would handle it and that I would that everything would be okay, so to speak. Um, After I came back, I kind of still didn't feel very welcomed, and I left like here and there for a little, and I ended up having to go to summer school, and I ended up getting threatened again there in the restrooms. And there was a group of boys who actually tried to gang up on me and pummel me, but I got out. Yay. And I ended up talking to my guidance counselor and Mrs. Conyers, and last time I talked to Miss Conyers too. Um, and she let me start using one of the teachers' restrooms. This is during summer school though. During sophomore year, I still had to use the kids' restrooms. And I pointed out some of the boys, and I gave very vague descriptions, but it was something. And there were only so many boys that looked like me there, and a couple of them who ganged up on me looked like me. I'm not trying to be racist or stereotypical. It's just there's a certain group of people who usually go to summer school, and those are the type that don't like me at all, which I get. Like, I don't care, but she ended up never getting back to me on that, which was great. I see Miss Conyers specifically all the time, and it's interesting because I don't think she cares, but that's fine, whatever. Um, Something though I really do want to change, especially when it comes to school life, is my involvement. Um, that's something I've wanted to change forever because I've always just kind of felt like an outcast even when I was younger. Because before I got the title of gay, I was a nerd and I did everyone's homework, and yeah. um, I ended up seeing Crimes of Grindelwald this summer. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and so that was really amazing. A lot of people don't like it, actually, especially in the fandom. They thought it was actually really stupid, but I thought it was amazing. Um, a song that's in my head right now is Strut by Adam Lambert. I've been listening to him a lot more recently. An artist I hate. This is probably one of the only artists I hate. I'm a huge art fanatic. I love all different forms of art. I'm also into makeup and stuff like that, and fashion and all that, and there's only one person that I don't enjoy when it comes to this. It's a beauty guru YouTube type thing, but it still counts, in my opinion. But art is subjective, so. Is James Charles. I despise him with my entire being. I hate how many girls use the word sisters. I find it agitating because all I do is correlate it with him. I think he's an awful representation of the gay community, specifically boys who do makeup or guys that do makeup, and still remain men, because a lot of the time people associate with guys doing makeup as drag or them wanting to be trans, and that's not the case all the time. If it was, they would have told you. Excuse me. And he has gotten into a lot of predicaments, and where he could have been more respectful or also just could have said nothing, but instead decided to not only run his mouth, but also just completely make no sense while doing it. And also, when he tries to make himself like the one who's not at fault, because he'll bring up receipts, which are normally a form of just proving one's innocence. They're not real, or they don't really prove him as innocent. I'm a huge Jeffree Star fan, which probably is kind of hypocritical because Jeffree Star kind of does the same thing. But in my opinion, when Jeffree Star does it, he is not nearly as hypocritical, and he's also normally a lot more professional. And also, not that it matters because this is supposed to be like some like webcam thing or whatever, but no, that's nonetheless. I just want to justify the fact that also when he's, a lot of people say Jeffree Star is racist. For one, so is James, but also the only proof these people have are one time, a very, very long time ago, years ago, during MySpace days still, he was caught on the streets and he referred to a group of girls as the N-word. If you were to listen to the video, they were calling him a fag. And also, if you watched all the way through, they were all white. I'm not trying to justify it, but if people are just throwing hate words at each other and they don't even make sense half the time, then oh well. Like, it's not racism. He was simply throwing a hate word. Because if you're able to justify the F word, then go ahead and justify the N word. That's my stance. You can take it or leave it, but whatever. One of the funniest things that happened over the summer, you have her in one of your classes, I don't remember what period, but my sister Mackenzie, she made some like really corny joke out of nowhere in the middle of the mall. When I go to the mall, I sometimes get nervous. Sometimes I don't. Normally I try to just focus on like whatever, but that time there was a group of people that I know from school, and they don't like me. I know they don't, and I stayed away, but like they were laughing and stuff, and they just don't like me. I didn't call them out or anything about it, but out of nowhere I turn and she's all of a sudden like in my face, and then she just says some weird ass joke, and she doesn't even realize that there are these people just making fun of me. But it was really nice. She definitely seems to brighten my mood half the time. I wrote down answers for everything that I did, but now I'm realizing I probably should have not been as generic, because the next one I just wrote home, which makes no sense. Oh, okay, where did I eat? So I don't like fast food that much. We did eat a decent amount of fast food, but when it came to like whether or not, like if some of us were staying home and they were gonna bring home not takeout, fast food, I would choose to just cook something, because I choose to be a tad bit more healthy. It's not really that much healthier, but it's still something. And for me, at least, it kind of is better because I'm broken out kind of. Like, this is really nice lighting for me, so, like, it doesn't really look like I am. And then also I have, like, really bad redness and hyperpigmentation, and I'm very self-conscious about that. I'm not self-conscious about much, but that I am. And so it's been, like, a long struggle. Like, middle school me, once puberty hit, I was so broken out. I was so ugly. And I still kind of am, but, like, it's fine. So eating certain things that don't contain, like, oils and just grease and stuff like that, and dairy, and too many carbs and stuff like that, I'm just very conscious of skin stuff. You could tell me any ingredient, you could give me the chemical name, and I could probably tell you what it does for your skin. Something. What is something you intend to do this year? I wrote down change this system. For me, that just correlates back to the whole guidance counselor thing. It's not that I'm being bitter. It's much, for me at least, it's a form of paranoia and also self-preservation. I try to keep tags on people that do stuff like that to me, much rather than be fake. Sometimes I will, but with guidance counselors, I don't have to be because I'm not always around them. Or with, like, deans and stuff like that. And I don't even know what form of administration Miss Conyers is. Personally, I don't think she should have that title at all. But I think that there are certain things that they need to handle a lot better, especially when it comes to the very, very small gay community that is in Apopka High School, not outside of it. Like, they have no way to control stuff that happens outside of school. But most of the time, the only time I've ever actually faced up in my face homophobia is from kids at school. And it's never, ever dealt with. And I can show you lists upon lists of children that I've tried to report. I can show you the reports. I can show you the emails. I have them all saved. I've emailed teachers for help. It's a lot. And I just don't think it's fair, even remotely, because I've also changed myself a lot this year, especially. My sophomore year, I calmed it down. But my freshman year, I was wearing leggings. I used to wear big docks. I used to wear much more revealing shirts, longer V-necks. My hair was longer. I used to have this really long undercut, and the fringe, which is the only part that's, like, the longer hair that's not shaved, was, like, down to here. I still have tons of pictures because I just cut it off this, like, the beginning of this year because I wanted a new change, but in reality it's just because I didn't want to get picked on. And I used to dye it all these crazy colors and stuff. I really miss dyeing my hair, but I just dye other people's hair instead, so it's okay. I'll be okay. What is going to be the biggest change between you and the very end of school? I wrote down, oh, sorry, actually, no. What is going to be your biggest challenge this year is the next question. Whoopsie-doo. Self-motivation. I have no self-motivation. I've never really liked school. There's a lot of factors that play into that. But, even as, like, a really young child, I was, like, in kindergarten, and I would literally, I was 6, and I would pretend to be sick, and I would put on these little shows of, like, pretend vomit, and I would just fake a fever, or I'd fake a headache. Ever since I was younger, I just didn't want to be there. It's because, for me, I don't like forcing myself, and I can't force myself, really, to learn stuff that I don't want to learn. I love learning, I really do, but it has to be something I'm interested in, and I'm basically interested in nothing that almost anyone at this school has to teach me, and it has nothing to do with the teachers, because I've only had 2 awful teachers, and one is retired because I reported him, and that was actually kind of successful. And he only had 1 year left until retirement, so I thought that was kind of funny anyways. Until he would get, like, the whole, like, pay leave or whatever it comes with age. But like, I love Greek mythology. I love animals, like biology, specifically ornithology. I could tell you about tons of makeup brands. I could tell you, I could go on for days about Harry Potter stuff. I could tell you about tons of different clothes, how to make certain clothes. I could tell you what colors look good on you. I could tell you tons of stuff that I think is useful, that I've learned tons about. But school doesn't think that's useful. But I don't care. And so when it comes to, like, the learning aspect of everything, I retain it. It's just that I don't put it to use. So I find school to be useful. This is kind of how I work it out in my head. Ergo, and this is the justification part, I just don't go sometimes. Last year, like I had said, I left for like 3 months, and that had to do with bullying. But freshman year, I had extreme bullying. I got threats all the time, but I didn't care really, because I knew I wouldn't get help because I had already tried multiple times, and so I used to just kind of like stay out of school for like days, and then I'd come back for a little, and then I'd go away, and I'd come back. It's kind of a joke, an ongoing joke with my friends, that I have all these like weird, out of nowhere getaways, and then all of a sudden I'm back. Which is kind of sad because it's like a joke, but in reality, it's actually like there's a lot deeper meaning to it, and it's not just school. But I'm not going to go into that. Okay. What is going to be the biggest change? Biggest change from now, like the beginning. Well, no, wait. The biggest change between now and the very end. Okay. So, personally, I think that I've changed myself too much. Not like the hair or whatever, but mentally and emotionally. Like, I have a huge issue with emotional detachment, and I'm kind of considered black-hearted, so to speak, and I'm very cold, which I'm okay with because it serves a purpose. But by the end of school, once I'm out in the world, that's not something that people find approachable, and that's not something that people also find marketable or useful. Like, I'm not going to get a job, I'm not going to be able to do a lot of things, I'm not going to be able to meet new people. Not that I care to meet too many new people, but I mean, I have to meet some people, so. A lot of the times also people just say I look angry, and that's a self-preservation mechanism. That's kind of something I've just developed. It's not like what kids would call resting bitch face. Also, I should have said this in the beginning, I talk like a 60-year-old, so I'm kind of dumbing it down when it comes to the words, but a lot of the time, I feel like that's part of the reason why people don't like me, because I'm not, when they do approach me, if they do, and I start talking, they just like immediately shut down. But it's because I just don't use certain terminology. Where was I? This is a hard assignment. I hope we can talk freely, because it's almost at 20 minutes. But by the very end, I probably want to just be, honestly, I guess the word would probably be happy. And I will be like right away, because it'll just be done, and I can live my life for once, because school has drained me of so much. Not even remotely when it comes to academic reasoning. I can solve so many problems for you. I can tell you about tons of things that I've learned. I could tell you teachers' planning periods from years ago. I've retained it all. It's just I don't care about it anymore, which is probably a problem. But because of the school, and I feel I have a right to say this, because of the school's inability to care, I shouldn't have to care anymore, and I don't. Um, it has nothing to do with any of my teachers, even the ones that hated me and didn't care about me and said I was a problem or causing for issues. It has nothing to do with them. It's just that I didn't I didn't feel like I had anyone to go to that could actually get rid of these children. Teachers can only help so much, and a lot of mine did, and they never heard back. And that's just something that resonates with me way too much, and that's why the harsh reality of it is that this school could easily be gone. The minute I graduate, it could be gone, and I could be like, wow, all of that, and I have nothing to prove anymore. Like, I can't say, oh, I went there. I don't care. Like, this school is not even remotely a place I would wish upon anyone. If there were kids right now, about to be freshmen, who wanted to go to school, I would most definitely immediately tell them not to go to Apopka. I don't understand who and why they're happy to be a Blue Darter, because it's awful. It's just awful. Sorry. A song that describes your life. I've been listening to this song for a while. It's not Born This Way, don't worry. It's by, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Missio. And it's Everybody Gets High. And there's a party, wow. There's a part in it that says, well, I'm supposed to sing it. Okay. I just left chorus for your class too, because I don't, that's another story, but you didn't ask for stories, so yeah. Emptied the bottles till the pain went away. I don't know if you heard that, but it's because I'm nervous. I love singing, but I can't when it's just me. I don't know why. But it said, emptied the bottles till the pain went away. Legally, I can't get into that too much into depth, at least, but the rest of the song explains, like, the part of the beginning is it explains, like, a boy just crying and a boy using all these methods to not feel sad. One part, it says he swallowed all these, I think it says something to the effect of swallowed all these pills and they made him bloom. This song specifically resonates a lot with my home life, especially when I was very young. There's just, like, a lot emotionally that I couldn't deal with, and a lot of people in my life, not just my parents, thought that medication would really help. I had even been admitted to a psych ward when I was around, like, I think 10 or 11. I was really young. Because I was lying to my psychiatrist and my therapist, saying that there were voices in my head who were telling me to kill people. There weren't. No worries. I'm not gonna kill anyone, I promise. But come to find out, lying about being crazy actually makes you crazier. Who would have known? Who would have thunk it? And so they evaluated me again after being released, and I had been on medication for years and years until it started affecting me a lot. I ended up on this one medication that used to knock me out completely. I used to be incredibly tired and I couldn't get to sleep, and I would fall asleep just out of nowhere. I would be so tired and so drained that all of a sudden I couldn't bear it anymore and I would just fall asleep. So I'd be at the psychiatrist office about to see my psychiatrist and I would be like just completely out of it. And then there were multiple times where I would just fall forwards out of the chair, asleep, just on the ground, and they'd have to wake me. One time I fell asleep literally sitting up in the chair while the psychiatrist was trying to talk to me. And they wouldn't do anything about it at first, the psychiatrist, because he wanted to try it, which I've heard a lot. And so we got to a point, I was around 15, and I was kind of like, you know what, I'm done with it. I'm done with all of it. And even as a child, I took up the bottle. I'll say it that way instead. That affected me a lot, and it has a lot to do with just home life. And it's nothing anyone can help. It's too late, honestly. This isn't a suicide video, just so you know. I mean too late as in how it affected me. And I think school only furthered it. And that's why I can't come to love school at all. I love learning, but I don't love it that much. And I was dealing with too much already, even when I was very, very young. So, yeah. You're welcome for that. And then give a shout out to whomever is important in your life. Nicole, my friend, Nicole Hill. She's absolutely extraordinary. She probably wouldn't want me to shout her out, but oh well. We've grown very, very close these past 2 years. And a lot of our friends, we used to have this little tiny friend group that I ended up being a part of all of a sudden once I joined Wolf Lake in 8th grade. And at first I actually didn't really like her at all. I thought she didn't like me or something, and so I just kind of stayed away. But now we're like inseparable. And we even plan on trying to like move in together and stuff. We're not together, just so you know. We're just friends. But she has helped me more than any friend I have ever had. Emotionally, more than she will probably ever know. Because she doesn't really know. I don't tell her when it comes to stuff like that, because we're kind of not like that when it comes to like the mushy stuff, so to speak, I guess. We talk about certain issues, but it's never about how we feel about each other. And but I don't think she'll ever know how much she's helped, because of how much she just is capable of building me up, even when she's just physically there. She doesn't have to even say anything. She's just like one of those people that just kind of makes you feel good. Probably not to others, because a lot of people don't like her, but that was kind of our camaraderie when it came to the small little group that we used to have. That's completely broken apart now, which is just great. She's not here with me. I don't know if that was a requirement as to whether or not like they could say anything, but yeah, no, she's absolutely amazing. Sorry about my voice too. I probably sound like really dead and morbid, and I'm not sad. This is just one of those things where I'm like talking about how I need to start like acting happier. Also, my eyes look like they're both like shutting. They're not. My eyelashes are just really long, and so it's casting a shadow, and then also my hair's been casting a shadow. It's just a lot, and my room's like really dark. I have like blackout curtains, because I'm like all a little emo and stuff inside still, kind of. But yeah. Also, I hope that it's okay that this is almost half an hour long, because I feel like you're not gonna enjoy that. But okay. Bye. Hello, my name is Matthew Connor. This is my diary questions, the halfway point, and today's the 7th. For the first question, probably the best thing that happened to me in 2019 was probably the fact that I finally am fully over caring, and this is kind of weird, but like caring about people's opinions of me. I've cared for obviously a very long time, especially after I came out. It kind of got worse, and It's not that I was like defensive when it came to a lot of that stuff. Normally, I'm kind of calm in those situations and I don't really care, anyways. But like afterwards, I would dwell on like a lot of those things, and I'll always be like, oh, I could have done this or I could have said that, and da 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 da. But like, I'm not a very confrontational person, and so I just let it like eat away like at me. And so now when there's like stuff like that happens, which sadly it still happens a lot, I just kind of let it like go, and I just don't let it get to me anymore, which is kind of easy like saying now, but like I mean even just a couple months ago, that was very hard for me to people would always say, well, you do you and da 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 da, but like that doesn't actually like that doesn't really happen. Like that's not how I see people deal with stuff like that, at least. Probably one of the worst thing that happened in 2019 was the fact that I kind of had to finally let go of my father. That has nothing to do with me being myself or whatever, really. It's just that I've like finally come to terms with the fact that he's just not a part of my life anymore, besides a quick phone call. Divorcee parent type stuff is like really rough. Wow, I love like now that my siblings are being loud while I decide to do this. But yeah, it was not a good divorce, and I was old enough to remember pretty much all of it, and I was stuck in the middle of it, and he's not a very good person, and it was hard for me to finally do, but I've kind of said my last, like, not farewells, but last kind of like sentiment of like how he affected me, because there's a lot more about like when he and my mother were together, he did not like me, to say the least. Um, Probably the school year is going pretty well, actually. I'm a junior, so I think finally I got like my stuff together, which is like crazy because it's taken me long enough. But last year was an awful, awful school year, and this year has actually been a lot better. Again, I think this has a lot to do with the whole me finally just letting things go and not letting everything get to me, because that was part of the reason why I think I had so much trouble, is because I wanted to report everyone. I wanted the counselors and everyone to follow through. But those whole investigations and things like that, those don't exist. I'm not an idiot. They don't bother trying to find out who was harassing me. I've had death threats and they still never bothered getting back to me on that. I know, sitting at a conference table and looking at Miss Conyers, I know everything she's telling me is a lie. So at this point, I don't care. I see her every day, and it's just like a huge slap in the face because I know she doesn't care. So, probably one of the funniest things that has happened, though, I mean, it's good too, it's funny to me at least, is that I like all my classes, which is crazy. And I don't mean that in the sense of academic speaking, because I've loved all my classes in that sense. I choose my electives and then I love learning. So, like math and all that, I've never cared about. But, like the people and everything, and then the teachers, that always comes into play with me. All my teachers seem to kind of at least somewhat like me. And then I haven't had much trouble and like in any sort of social thing, really, which is nice because I've sometimes found that I don't really know how to fit in some of my classes. And then if it's one that where you need to be outgoing or something, I've never really been that type of person, but lately I have been, which is nice because inside I am somewhat outgoing, but everyone thinks I'm much more introverted, which isn't true at all, really. Like, I'm just more withdrawn. Um, while Mr. Scahill was gone, um, and I think you do watch these, and if you're watching this, I hope that you are doing better enough where it's not painful anymore. I know how cancer affects people. My grandmother died when I was 6, and her mother died, um, and my mother was younger at that point as well. And my mother kind of describes a lot of what goes on. And then I was younger when it went on with my grandmother, and I remember certain parts of it, and her all of a sudden like just not being herself, and it's like it's very very awful. So what was going through my head was just my grandma, and just knowing how that affects people, because even though Mr. Scahill, you are a guy, I know that like the hair thing is huge and it hurts. I think, and it's just I just know that it has to do with just like it's just very. I can only assume it's very awful to like literally have parts of like almost the sense of humanity and just life clumping into your hands. And it's just a very the whole cancer thing is a very big thing for me, and so it was absolutely awful. And anyone who would make a joke, anyone who would talk about him dying or whatever, I was very very angry. I didn't say anything, but I was very angry. um what did we do for Christmas? Okay, so I know a lot of people probably are saying nothing, but we literally did nothing. It was incredible. Because normally we make these huge plans, and I have a very big family, and so going to even just Georgia, because we drive, but like, it's like awful. Like the commute and everything, and so it's not the most fun thing. But we didn't really go out much. We didn't like, we went out to eat like a couple times. We went and saw a movie, and we went shopping a little bit, but that was about it, which was like really nice actually, because I'm very not lazy. I'm just very laid back. And so I could sit and be content for a very long time probably. Like I don't care about doing stuff. Like when I want to do something I will, but if I don't, then I'm content with just like being, kind of. So where does that sound? And so like it was actually nice to like not do much actually. Um what was the best thing I gave for Christmas? Probably I okay, so I probably don't look like the most morbid slash like angsty or withdrawn. Well, like I told you I was withdrawn, but I don't look it sometimes. And you would think that I would be more open with my family, but I'm actually less open with my family. Um, and that's kind of my own thing. It's not entirely their fault. And so I actually think that this Christmas, especially, I was a lot more positive, and I was much more open armed kind of deal with my family and even my siblings and stuff, who I don't normally hang out with that much because some of them are a lot younger than me, so it's actually kind of hard to connect. But I tried kind of, and it seemed to kind of work. So I don't know. What was the best thing I got for Christmas? Probably one of my bigger presents, which was a Jeffree Star mystery box. I do makeup. I know it's probably crazy, um, but yeah, I do like makeup and stuff like that, and so that was really really cool. Um, what was the best song of 2019? Okay, I do love music, but I hate, and I truly do mean this. I hate all of the artists that are up and coming right now. I don't like any new music and stuff like that. I listen to Marilyn Manson and like heavy metal and stuff like that, which probably is also something that most people don't think I listen to. Um, I don't probably look that either. But yeah, I don't like any of the music that's been out recently. The only song that I kind of liked was by someone who I kind of used to listen to, Halsey, and she came out with this song Graveyard, which I liked, but it's not on the radio that much, and so most people probably don't even know about it. What was the best movie of 2019? Did Crimes of Grindelwald come out in 2019? I don't remember if it did or not. I just decided to sit down and just do this out of nowhere, so I didn't end up looking up everything and making sure like I did with the last questions, which I probably should have done. And I didn't really go and see any new movies that much. Did I? Let me think, hold on, we'll get there. I haven't seen a movie in a really long time, like in theater. I wanted to see Cats, if that counts as like one of the. Ooh, you know what? Maleficent 2. That that was like amazing. I saw bits of it. I want to see the whole thing, but that looks amazing, and I loved the first one. So, and then Frozen 2 was actually kind of interesting looking. I didn't get to see it, but that looked interesting too because I hated the first one. Oh wow. The worst movie, Jumanji 2. That is, I think that technically still came out in 2019. I think it just came out like really late. That was awful. My family went and saw it too, and like they loved it, but I have like a really bad sense of humor, and so I don't know. I didn't like it. What is going to be the hardest thing to accomplish? Probably becoming financially stable. I still have like a whole nother year of school, so I know that sounds crazy, but I'm one of those kids that like thinks they're gonna move out when they are, but they're probably not going to. And at the very least, I can accept that. I don't want to go to college, but I want to go to an art school where they do hair and makeup. I want to become a stylist. But like, oh, and now one of my siblings is singing outside of my door. That's lovely. But like that probably is going to be very hard because that means because at some point I do need to get like an actual like just like some sort of like stupid like cashier type job thing. Will probably be a bagger, but because I need to make some sort of income because I don't, me personally, I don't even ask for a lot. Like, I don't buy almost anything of what I own, and I'm very grateful for what I have, but I also don't ask for a lot either. I ask for things that are quite expensive, but I don't ask for a lot, and so I have to start being able to gauge myself for what I like because I do have quite the expensive taste, even when it comes to like food and stuff like that. And so when I'm older, it's probably not going, it's going to be quite the slap in the face, but still. Okay, so I have to include a film clip. And I don't know how to actually like add on something. So we'll see how that goes. And then what is the most important significant thing that has happened to you in the last 10 years? If it's just one thing, and this one thing I talked about already, but this, I mean, did influence. Like, when people talk about parents getting divorced and stuff like that, I think that people do, like, imagine it kind of being not the most amazing thing. And, like, sometimes it can be very good and people can co-parent and stuff, but that's not how my parents' divorce ended up going on. And my father was not, like I said before, was not the most amazing to me or my mom or any of me and my siblings, and like he's just not a good person. And as a child, for years, I wished he would leave. I wish he was gone, and da 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 da. It's the first time I'm talking about it like this. This is weird, actually. But when he like officially was kind of gone, and now especially lately, it's like really like weird. It's very, like, me hugging my dad is weird. That's crazy. Like, when you think about it. But it is. Like, my youngest brother, he doesn't even remember our father. And he's 7 now. Now, he is. And so, because he was a baby when my father had basically officially left already. And so I don't know, it's a very crazy thing, but the divorce especially, that happened 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And so, and I was in like maybe seventh grade, so it was only like 13, 14, because I'm a bit older. But so that was really hard, actually. That affected a lot, and it was crazy in the beginning, and it's still to this day affecting us. And so it, I don't know, it's very hard and very weird. I don't, okay, but wow, this was fun. But yeah, no, that was definitely the divorce specifically. That was the event, because that was that didn't just affect a marriage, that affected a family that then was not a family. So, and then the clip, which that I don't exactly I don't know how to include that, but we'll figure it out. But okay. Whoop.
Famished.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, to start this off, before we even get into answering questions, I've literally switched my location like 3 times because I got a bird. She's screaming because conures do that. And then I can't do it in the living room, and this has just been a lot. So literally, I haven't been able to even turn it in because I don't even have a video diary right now. So like, this has been a lot. But hopefully, this is my brother's room. I mean, I know I look like the skater type, so like, I might as well claim this room. But my year was pretty good. Definitely academically speaking. Last year and the year before was absolutely awful. Especially last year, I was out for almost 3 months because of bullying and death threats, and the school just didn't really do a lot. And it's just this year has been a little bit more decent in the sense that like I finally just been able to stick to what I need to do. Not a lot crazy has happened. The beginning of the year I was put in chorus again. That wasn't really fun because I was in chorus sophomore year, and I'm not going to say a lot, but Miss Schaefer, especially, like Miss Fair isn't as big a deal, but Miss Schaefer, literally I could care less about. Like, she is so horrendous. I don't even understand. I just don't understand, and because no one cared. But my plans for next year are definitely going to be, again, like I kind of did this year. I didn't really do anything extra or crazy. I wasn't really trying. God, this piece of hair. I wasn't doing anything like extra. Like, I didn't even really go to GSA a lot because that was a big part of like my freshman and sophomore year was GSA. I hope maybe next year I can do it a bit more, but if I can't, I actually don't really care because a lot of people in there I don't get along with. You'll notice, I think, in all of my video diaries, I talk about people I don't get along with because a lot of people don't like me, and I also don't want to deal with anyone that doesn't like me. So it just kind of goes hand in hand. But people that I would like to thank. Oh, the best thing about Apopka. I don't have, and this is nothing to do with teachers that I like or teachers that haven't done anything mean to me, but this is to do everything with admin, with assistant people, with guidance, especially my guidance counselor, even the principal. I don't even care if this is his first year. This has to do with, and also a couple teachers specifically, and then anyone else who just decides to come along, because this ain't the school. I despise it. I'm never gonna go and graduate and say that I was a proud blue darter. I will never do that. I just don't like Apopka at all. I don't even like the area in general. It wasn't really my decision to come here, so Um, but the people I enjoyed specifically were teachers. I have friends, but I don't think thanking them in this is really going to do anything. But Miss Wall, Miss. I'm so frazzled because I've literally switched like locations 3 times, so I've said this like multiple times, and now it's just like I can't think of it all of a sudden. Miss Wall, Miss Gardner, specifically Miss Gardner, and I'm going to talk about her next. Um, who else? Miss Leafers. I only had her 1 year, but that was a really really fun class, and it was really fun in there. Miss Brown. I mean, it was this year, and so I didn't get to know her really well, but she was really amazing actually. Um, and then there's a couple other people, but like those teachers, like specifically. But Miss Gardner is in most definitely the most memorable teacher. I know it says teachers, but when it comes to teachers I remember, I don't try to remember a lot of people normally. So, especially if it's like teachers, because they do affect my life and they're the ones teaching me and stuff. And so I do respect teachers and I respect them enough to conversate and everything, but it's going to be for that year. We don't normally I don't have teachers multiple times. Miss Gardner was the only one I had twice, but and I didn't even know that was actually going to happen, but she was literally one of the most amazing teachers I've ever had, Miss Gardner, like specifically, because she was always there to talk. She talked with me through a lot. Like, she let me talk to her the entire period one day. Like, I didn't even end up doing work. It was, and it was a bad day. Is there anything you'll regret? Oh yeah. Um, Last year, I decided I was like, you know what, I'm done. Because there's this issue with the fact of my age. Because I started, when I started schooling in general, I was already a year older than everyone. Because, well, pretty much everyone. Because I was born in September, but it's September 7th. And, like, even, I'm pretty sure even it being September just in general means that I missed, like, the cutoff. And so I had to wait a whole nother year. So I was already older. But then on top of that, I got held back in 8th grade, and it was because of a lot of stuff, and it was actually because of my old school, my old middle school. I just wasn't doing very good there. And so I ended up doing homeschooling for a year, and I ended up getting held back because I learned quickly that I'm not very self-sufficient, and I'm not very well equipped to be self-motivated. I am more now, but I'm 18 and I'm about to be 19 this September. And so that bleeds into the whole like I just have a lot of regrets when it comes to specifically like my attendance and the fact that last year I thought that I would want to leave and I almost did. And then this whole thing ended up happening, and then after trying to get a meeting with Mr. Hines, because he specifically called back and said he was the one that we were supposed to get a meeting with, it took almost 2 months just to get a meeting with him. I was out for 3, and the first month I tried leaving, but they wouldn't let me leave. I went to get the papers and they wouldn't let me leave. And so it's just been this huge thing, and I just really done with it, and so I'm not even gonna bother trying to get my GED. I'm just staying for the last year, and I'm happy Corona or COVID, whatever the fuck. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Um, Great, that's really great. Um, but whatever, like I'm thankful that it didn't happen this year because I mean it didn't happen during my senior year because that would have been a lot, and I would have been really angry because I've been holding out for like years to be able to finally like graduate and graduate normally and like the whole thing. So if I wasn't able to walk across the stage and I've been holding out for this long, I would have, I would have been so done. Um, what was the most memorable moment of the school year? Probably the most memorable moment would have been, I know it sounds corny, but actually going the first day of high school. Like the first day of high school was like a big eye opener into how I
navigate life, especially in like a workspace, because that's like the whole thing. Like high school is leading into college, and especially high school kind of prepares you for college, and like both of these kind of intertwine into how you're supposed to like have like a work ethic and stuff like that. And so it's shown me that I'm very capable of that, and I just choose not to do that. And I don't know what that says about me, but I know for a fact it definitely means that I need to really try working on how I navigate stuff. Kind of, basically. Um, in 10 years, um, 10 years, I want to be doing cosmetology, because that's kind of my end goal. I want to do barbering, then I want to get my makeup license, because those are separate things. Barbering actually is specific to like other stuff as well. Like that's more like that even has to do with like facial stuff as well. Like that's not just hair. So it's this whole other thing. But sadly, I actually don't think that's going to work out very well for me, because I mean, I've talked to you before about this, and like I made the joke the one time. Like, I mean, I know I'm not the most like type guy. I'm kind of a sissy, but people in the college I'm supposed to be going to, I forgot the name of it. It's the Orange College, Orange Technical College. I was the only white person in the room, and that's not me saying that I'm uncomfortable with that. The part that I'm uncomfortable with is the fact that every person there kind of sticks to the narrative of like kind of gangstery hood slum type human being, and I'm not even gonna put like a specific color to that, because that in itself would be racist, and I'm not. But people, because of myself and my being, and then also the fact that I'm the only white person there and I stick out more so for that also, and then on top of that I also am really tiny and can't defend myself. No one in there liked me. Then that's not me working myself up. That's not me getting stuff in my head. Even the professor didn't really look like he liked me. And I was the only kid there from like our little group that went and visited, that got up and started trying to do stuff with the people that were there that were learning. Like one of the guys offered to show me how to like cut like the hair, because he was doing it at like an angle, so he was thinning things out. And he let me like do it, and I was the only one that did that, and there was only four of us. And so it's not like, it's like really agitating, because if they want people to be in their programs, they need to be open-minded in who's going to come and be a part of their programs, but they're not. So we'll see how that works out. What is the funniest happened in film class? Not really a lot. I don't have a very good sense of humor, and so a lot of things that probably people are going to say are funny from my class specifically, I don't find funny. The only thing that would be funny is actually a whole person, Lori. Her and me would talk, and she's absolutely hilarious. So I guess if we're considering just like maybe like conversations and stuff, then yeah, that's pretty funny. Also, our talk, I don't think I should add this in here, but I thought it was actually kind of funny, and I don't care. But our talk about me having issues like stomach wise, and you were giving me like suggestions and stuff, and we were both talking, and so I just thought it was like really funny that all of a sudden like we were just like talking about that, because that wasn't what I went in there for. So it was really funny. What is one thing that Scahill said or did that I won't remember? Probably everything. I respect people. Like, there are some people that I respect right off the bat, and then sometimes it takes a bit to get there, and then there are obviously also people that I don't respect or automatically don't respect. But Mr. Scahill, specifically, I do very much respect in a sense, and you're also incredibly respectable for the fact that you literally were going through chemo and had been going through chemo and still came back and have this like amazing like repertoire of like things and people and students and like experiences to show simply for the fact that you were just, and I'm not trying to downgrade your job, but just a film teacher. Like that's very, like that's a lot. Like that takes a lot to be able to get to that point. And so I think that you specifically have taught me a lot about like, you kind of made me, you've been one of the teachers that have kind of helped me get off my little high horse about like I don't need to be going consistently and all this other stuff, because there's a lot that's also going against me when it comes to going to school every day, and there's a lot that builds up slowly and then it gets to a point where I just can't deal with it and then I don't go, and it's just a lot. How do you want to be, how do I want to be remembered? In the long run, how I want to be remembered is as a symbol of someone who was themselves unapologetically and spoke their mind and just didn't care. That's going to take some working because I always end up caring, and so I'm not there yet, but I know I'm there in the sense of the fact that I don't care about what's going to happen if I wear this, if I do this, if I look like this. If you had ever seen me like freshman year, like the Matthew I am now in your class has been very much downgraded and looks almost like a normal guy, and that's never how I was looking beforehand. And so I do that for school purposes just because I just want to learn and get out of there. But I have a lot of siblings and they're really unhappy about like the whole online schooling thing, so I don't know if you exactly heard what he said, but they're all arguing, so sorry, that's why I've been moving. Yay. What do you think you will be most remembered about? What do I think I will remember most about? Oh, Apopka High? The fact that I was able to deal with so much and still graduated. That'll be the only thing I remember. I will, once I'm gone, I will not, I could care less about remembering any sort of, I don't even care about the experiences with like my friends and stuff that I've had from high school. Like I don't care about high school at all anymore. Like this high school has like completely done me in. So like, I don't care. Here's the film clips. What are we going to see? A quick description of each that we will see. Oh, okay. Oof. Okay. The first one is obviously like the beginning, and that is Matthew at a very positive, upbeat moment. May not look like it, but he is. And he really wants things to work out in school, but they're not, and they don't work out very well. But he has in mind that he can move on and stuff is going to get better. Unless he still has to live in this house. Oh. The second one, that one is like Matthew realizing that he was able to do it, he's doing it, and he's going to make it through high school and things are going to be okay. And then this one is Matthew at an actual decent point once in his life, and he's not so tired and depressed and just completely done and over everything. I'm doing actually really good. I think, like I said beforehand, I have like a bird, and I haven't had a pet in a little while because I've just not had very good experiences with pets in general, because so many things have come up in my life that have affected me, and so in turn I've not been there for my own animals, and I'm a big bird and reptile person, so I ended up having to get rid of my snake a while ago, and then my one bird literally actually ended up killing himself. That's how needy birds can end up being, and it is a thing, and I just wasn't there for him, sadly. I ended up having two birds die of a heat strokes, because our AC broke and they died. So, had a lot of bad luck. I ended up having to get rid of one word when I was really young, and he was absolutely amazing. I taught him to fly into my sister's hair. She's in your class, Mackenzie, the curly-haired one. Yeah. I need to teach the new one to do that, too. Oh, wow. A video clip of you and your friends. Well, we'll see if I can find one, because don't really have anything like that. Don't really have a lot of friends to take videos with. But okay, we'll see. But, okay. Bye-bye. So how's the ride? You're like all kinds of messed up.
That's the set that you're
Oh, it's a video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a picture person.
My eyes always look huge in these filters,
Mine
though. You know, yours just...
No.
I just started.
My mom is like, my mom calls like any gay guy that she sees, she's like, oh, they're loca.
My dad says
She's like, look at them, look at all those loca
and
guys.
dying.
What is that? Wait.
And the N-word.
My mom is like, there's a bunch of, look at all these locas. There's so many locas here. And I'm like, what the fuck, mom?
Darn. That was probably me.
Okay. My name is Adriana Rosas. I am a senior and I have been at a Popka for 3 One of the most memorable moments from last year had to be when it started raining during bee lunch, so they moved everyone to the gymnasium, and me and my friends were there, and we saw that there was no teacher there, so we decided to leave, and there was me and 3 of my other friends. We left, and it was raining, so by the time we got to the car, we were drenched, and when we got to the car, there was only 2 seats, so there was 3 people in the passenger seats, and then the drivers, and then we went to McDonald's and never came back. The best movie I saw last year was Annabelle. That one was really good. I recommend it. The song going through my head right now is 5 Seconds of Summer, She Looks So Perfect. I don't necessarily hate any artist, but I don't like country music, so I guess if I had to hate an artist, it'd be a country artist. One time I laughed this summer was when I was hanging out with my friend and her little brother started dancing and he fell. The place I ate the most this summer was Taco Bell. Something I intend to do this school year is do all my work on time. My biggest challenge this year is gonna be, I guess, staying on track to graduate and make sure I do everything I can to stay on track. The biggest change for me this school year would be, I guess, figuring out what I'm gonna do after high school. I could describe my life with a song. I don't know what song it would be because like my life is a mess right now. Ew. Adriana Rosas 2020. The best thing that happened to me in 2019 would be that I got a job. The worst thing would be I got grounded for a month and a half. The school year so far is going good. A good thing that's happened is in 5th period, me and my friends did Secret Santa, which was really fun. While you were gone, something that I thought was, I hope he's okay and I hope that he's not dead. For Christmas, I actually spent one day with my boyfriend and then the other with my family. The best thing I gave for Christmas was everything because I had money to actually buy gifts this year. The best thing I got for Christmas this year would be this bracelet and this dino. For me, the best song of 2019 is Runaway by got7. The best movie of 2019 was How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. The worst movie wasn't from 2019, but we saw it in class and it was The Changeling. I didn't really understand it. And then the hardest thing for me to accomplish between now and the end of the year would be coming to all my classes and not skipping, even though I kind of failed already. And then Most significant change that has happened to me within the last 10 years would have to be when I moved sophomore year. I didn't move far, but I moved far enough to where it changed a lot of things, as like where I would get a job, which was a big significant thing to me. The year for me, I would say, was really fun and I enjoyed it. My plans for next year are going to Lake Tech. The best thing about PopGo was being able to see my friends every single day. I would like to thank my friends for being there for me the past 3 or 4 years. I couldn't ask for better friends, really. A memorable teacher I've had is Mr. Trumpeter. He was just so chill. Something I regret the last year is not being as involved as I could have been. One of the most memorable things of this school year for me was senior ice skating. In 10 years, I'll be 28, so hopefully I'll be like married and financially stable. That would be nice. One of the funniest things that has happened in our film class, I think, would be whenever one of the freshmen would say something stupid. One of the most memorable things that happened in our class was when you said we would all go to hell for watching Love, Simon. One of the things I will remember you saying or doing is whenever you would offer a kid money to hit another kid. I want to be remembered as someone who's kind and someone you could like come to if you ever need anything. One thing I think I will remember most about Apopka in 20 years would be Mr. Arnold's Good Morning Blue Darters every single day. And then I am going to show 4 clips, and these 4 clips, one of them is going to be my friend jumping on a trampoline from a night that was really fun, hanging out with them. Another one is going to be when me and my friends skipped school one day and went to our friend's house and ate pizza and cut each other's hair. And then another one is me and my boyfriend at the fair, which was really fun because I was also with friends. And then the fourth and final clip would be me and my friend giving ourselves tongue tattoos in the 5th period. That was fun.
I'm like,
The internet.
Yeah, why don't I go do that?
Oh, what's your rush? Spend some time. Get to know Brenda. Grandma, is that a face?
Gonna get that inked up. Ha.
My name is Ashley Norfleet. I'm in 10th grade. I've been at Apopka High School for like a year, I guess. The most memorable thing that happened last year connected with school was probably like football games, cheering at football games, going to the Friday night football games. I don't know, that's one thing I really remember, I guess. Something I'm looking forward to this year, football games, cheering at football games, going to the Friday night football games, etc. Oh, and like homecoming, I guess. The best movie / TV show that I saw this summer, probably like my favorite movie of all time, which is Halloween Town. Or I don't get scared by scary movies, that's why I love them so much. But I saw this one scary movie called The Terrifier, and it like actually scared me, so that was a good movie, I guess. A song going through my head right now, it's like, I don't know what the song is called, but it's off of like this app called TikTok. It's like, if I can find like a sound, I guess I'll put it in. What song or artist do I hate and why? I wouldn't say hate. I don't really hate any song or artist. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say like anything like punk rock, I guess. I don't know. I don't like that type of music. So I'll just say a whole genre. Genre? I don't know. I'll just say that. I'll just say punk rock. That's not a song or like an artist, but it's close enough. One time I laughed this summer. I laughed a lot this summer. I laugh at everything, so yeah. But something I remember, probably I don't know. I can't exactly pinpoint one time I laughed because, like I said, I laugh a lot. So I'll just say, like, whenever I'm with my best friend, Amaya, my current best friend, Amaya, we always laugh, like, a lot. So I'll just, anytime, like, every time that I'm with her, we laugh. Even if, like, it's, like, a serious, sad situation, we always find a way to laugh because we are comedians. A place I ate at most this summer, my house, because I don't really go out to eat. Oh, probably McDonald's because like I really like McDonald's. I always get a double cheeseburger and a chocolate milkshake. That is the best combination ever. It tastes so good. I love milkshakes and I love double cheeseburgers. They're so good. Something I intend to do this year, probably make a lot more friends, I hope at least, because my circle is very small. I don't have a lot of friends. So I intend to make more friends. My biggest challenge this year, probably like keeping or trying to keep my grades above a B. Most of my classes are easy, I feel like, but I think chemistry is going to be hard for me, so I think that's going to be my biggest challenge, is to keep a good grade in chemistry. What is going to be the biggest change between now and the very end of school? Probably who I'm friends with, maybe, or who I'm not friends with. Something like that. Probably I'll be able to drive by the end of the year, so that'll probably change things, I guess. Maybe I'll be more mature by the end of the year. I'm not really sure. If I could describe my life in a song right now, what would the song be? I don't know. I don't even know how to describe my life. But if I find a song, I'll put it in. A shout out to whoever is important in my life. None of them are here with me right now, because I'm by myself. But probably Amaya, my best friend. She's very important to me. She always makes me laugh. She always makes me feel better. She's always there for me. My brother. I don't know, he always makes me laugh also. My grandma. My aunt, Susan. My sister, maybe? I don't know. Mainly my family, I guess. And my friends, Amaya. Oh, and probably my cheer team. They're pretty important to me. I don't know. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's it. So, anyways, yeah, that's it. My name is Ashley Norfleet, and today is February 3rd, 2020. Today I'm doing my halfway point video diary. The best thing that happened in 2019 was passing my freshman year. What was the worst thing that happened in 2019 was probably when one of my aunts got sick and she was in the hospital. Describe how the school year is going so far. It's going okay. It's difficult. My classes, it's hard to keep my grades up because the tests, the tests are hard. So it's hard to do good on them, and then, one funny thing that happened was probably the time during a lockdown drill. This kid was laughing, and my Spanish teacher got mad and told him that laughing was illegal and that he was going to go to jail and nobody could save him. So that was actually really funny. Scahill was gone September and October. What was something that was going through your mind about his absence? I thought he was dead, so I was like, what if he dies? What if he's already dead? What if he never comes back? What did I do for Christmas 2019? Christmas Day, I spent with my family at my house, and 2 days after Christmas, I went to my aunt's house in Fort Myers, and I stayed there for the rest of Christmas break. The best thing I gave for Christmas, probably I gave my grandma flowers, which she really liked, so that was the best thing. And then the best thing I got was probably the 3 pairs of shoes I got, because I love shoes. What was the best song of 2019? Truth Hurts by Lizzo, but the one featuring Ariana Grande. The best movie of 2019, Spider-Man Far From Home. No, the Spider-Man that, I think that's the one that came out in 2019. Whichever Spider-Man movie, whichever one it was that came out in 2019, I can't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure it was Far From Home. What was the worst movie of 2019? Could have been in film class. Okay, I don't know if this is a movie, or I'm pretty sure it's a documentary, but it was still the worst one. It was the one about the, that one high school kid who's like, he like a killer, and he stole his dad's gun, and like his therapist was like telling him that guns are cool, and then he killed his mom, and then he killed his dad, and then he like went to his school with the gun, like whatever one that was, that one sucked. What's going to be the hardest thing to accomplish between now and the end of school? The hardest thing is going to be probably to keep like the grades that I think are acceptable, and like the grades that are up to my personal standards, and then also probably passing the AP exam, like for AP World History. That's gonna be the hardest. Include a film clip of you or an event for something you remember from 2019, and then the beginning of 2020 marks a decade. And looking back at the last 10 years, what do you think was the most important thing that has happened to you? The most important thing that happened in the last 10 years was when my mom passed away, so that was pretty significant. It was out at the beginning of the decade, so yeah, anyways, that's the end of my video diary, so.
Hey guys. So, I'm Ashley, and I'm sitting in the car because I waited till the last day to do this. Well, it was the last day, and then the due date got changed, but I'm still gonna do it now anyways because I already started. But so yeah, I'm sitting in the car because this was supposed to be due in an hour, but now it's due in like 2 days. But anyways, that's not the point. So I'm doing my questions, and I only had a napkin, so I wrote the questions on the napkin. So, okay, how was the year? Short because of coronavirus, but it was good, I guess. I wish I would have done more stuff, but I mean, otherwise it was pretty good. Plans for next year: take more AP classes. Definitely do cheerleading again if that's an option, because I don't really know what's going on with that right now. Maybe take the PERT test again. Oh, also to find a college that I might want to go to, because yeah, it's probably a good idea for me to find that. And also, I had something in my head, but oh, maybe try another sport. Okay, best thing about Apopka High School: football games and homecoming. The Apopka High School is kind of good at like making fun things like homecoming and like football games, and my sister says prom is fun, or was fun when she went, so I mean, I guess that's the best part. Who would I thank at AHS? Myself. I would thank myself for doing so great. I don't really have any friends at that school, so in this school, I don't care. Memorable teachers. This can sound corny, but Mr. Scahill is definitely a memorable teacher. Also, Miss Townsend. She's a pretty cool teacher, I guess. And probably like Miss Brennan, maybe. Yeah, it's about. Those were my best classes in the last 2 years I've been here, so I guess they're memorable. Whatever, I don't know. Anything I regret. So, like I said in the beginning, I wish I would have been more outgoing. So hopefully that's something I'll do next year. So talk to more people and like make more friends, and hopefully it'll make things more fun, I guess. Most memorable moment from the year. Homecoming. Homecoming. It was like pretty good time. Oh, you know what the most memorable part of the year is? This part, where we're not even at school. We're just like at our house doing schoolwork, which is really weird. So that is definitely the most memorable part of the year. Okay, where will I be in 10 years? Hopefully either finishing up college or starting my career. Yeah, hopefully something like that. Funniest thing from film class. Probably the girl that sat behind me, Soraya. So I don't know how to say it, but she was always yelling and always getting in trouble, and that was always pretty funny. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Most memorable thing from film class? Same, that girl Soraya. Oh my god, she would never stop talking. Or when Cody was in our class, he would never stop talking. Or when they were running around the freaking classroom doing like flips and stuff, like, what is wrong with you people? Like, hey, one thing Scahill said that you remember. I don't remember anything. I'm kind of dumb, so I don't have a good memory. So, let me think. I guess one memorable thing was like when he told us he had cancer. That was crazy. Yeah, that was wow. That was. How do I want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as the coolest girl in school. Psych. I want to be remembered like as like something good, like best athlete or something like that, or like prom queen. Might not be realistic, but that'd be nice to be remembered as prom queen. Okay. Or if I don't know if there's like a rule against this, but if I was homecoming queen and then prom queen, and then everybody was like, remember that one girl? She was so cool, and she was prom queen and homecoming queen. Oh my god, that was crazy. I'm sure there's like a rule that you can't be both, but that would be pretty cool. What will you remember about? Again, homecoming. It's at like a literal club. Like, how is that forgettable? It's not. It's memorable. I will always remember that. I'm gonna be like 40 years old. I'm gonna be like, and my daughter or son is gonna be like, Mom, I'm going to homecoming. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, I remember my school's homecoming. It was the coolest thing. It was at one time it was at Disney, one time it was at Universal. I mean, that's pretty memorable. Okay. Introduce the film or clip. So my plan is to make like I forget the word, montage, collage, something like that, of like just my best moments from the school year that I can remember, like that I have pictures or videos of. So yeah, that's what's gonna be next. And it's my final video diary, guys. I finally did it. Hopefully I get an A on this so that I can get my grade up. Anyways, that's the end of my video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Psych. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Thanks for watching, guys.
Take me to your best friend's house, going round this roundabout, oh yeah. Take me to your best friend's house. I loved you then and I love you now, oh yeah. Don't take me tongue-tied, don't wave no goodbye. Oh, take me to your best friend's house, marmalade, we're making out, oh yeah. Oh, take me to your best friend's house. I loved you then and I love you now. Don't take me tongue-tied, don't wave no goodbye.
Started filming. Hi, my name is Haley Long, and this is my American High video diary questions that I'm asking, and my first like video diary type thing. So yeah, let's get started. I'm in 9th grade. How long have you been to Hopka? I went to Hopka Memorial Middle School last year, but I did come to the high school a lot for like chorus, and I saw a lot of shows like Radium Girls, and oh, it was so good. But yeah, I'm so extra. Yeah. What was the most memorable thing? Okay. I'm like gonna speed these questions. My phone is like not charged, so love that. Most memorable thing that happened. Memorable. Thank you. That connected with school last year. I performed as the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, and that was really, really fun. There was supposed to be 3 Cheshire Cats, but there was just one, and it was me. But yeah, it was a lead role too. I was the scripted. I'd grab it, but I was in every single scene, and like I had like at least 2 to 3 lines in every single scene. So, like, I couldn't change, like, my clothes, I couldn't take a break, really. I had, like, the small breaks of, like, songs I wasn't in, but besides that, it was just crazy. Yeah, but I have a picture here, and, like, here, I'll show you. Oh, please don't fall. I have, like, my other flag right there. Like, see? Like, there, that's me. I didn't wear shoes either during the show, and then there's my, poster for it. I have another one. That assigned the whole cast, but that was fun. Working? Yeah. What am I looking forward to this year? Oh, I got a text message. Okay. Hey, friends. But what are the most looking forward to? I'm looking forward to film class, for one, because I love making little videos. I've always wanted to, like, start a YouTube channel with, like, music videos of my own and, like, little short films, but haven't gotten around to actually filming those. I don't have a camera. Really, really, really want one. But yeah, I don't have one. I think I'm gonna try to save up enough money from like work and stuff. But yeah. Best movie and TV show. Oh, and for plays and stuff. I'm really excited for plays because I'm an actress, musical theater. I have a 20-page music thing right there. Yep. Due tomorrow, too. Don't know every word to it, which is due tomorrow. I'm stressed. Best movie or TV show? I saw Good Omens, which was really, really good. And then, yeah, Good Omens. I love Good Omens. It's such a good show. Aziraphale and Crowley are, like, so cute. Love them. I met David Tennant, the person who the person who played Crowley. I met him, David Tennant. He's amazing. He played Doctor Who, too. And if you play Doctor Who, you are actually a legend in my book. It was so cool. I loved it. Yeah. Oh, and I rewatched Bee and Puppycat because it's a cute chat. 3 minutes, okay. What song is going through my head right now? I'm crying 'cause I love you. It's 'Cause I Love You by Lizzo. It's such a good song. Sir, I think you should listen to it. It's such a good song. I love it so much. What song or artist do you absolutely hate and why? I don't hate any artists. Like, I appreciate what artists do for, like, their work and stuff, and I appreciate that. I think it's amazing that they actually want to fulfill their dreams and stuff like that. I don't hate anybody. Like, I don't hate anybody. But, like, I really like Gabby Hanna and Billie Eilish, and, like, them. I really like them. Because they're, like, I really like their music. I'm kind of, like, I like more of the... I don't even know what that was, but... yeah, I like that kind of music. What was one time you laughed this summer? I went to my friend Hunter's house, because I always go to my friend Hunter's house. Best friend in the entire world. Love her so much. But I went to her house, and we went to the convenience store right up the street from where she lives. Like, we walked to it. It was so close. I think, we rode her golf cart. She has a golf cart. It's so cool. Look at the time. Oh, I had to hurry this up a bit. But yeah, and there were, I found Kool-Aid Jammers, and I got so excited that I screamed. And, like, seriously, the cashier went, he was just so confused, and I'm like, oh my god, guys, they have Kool-Aid Jammers, and they had the cherry ones, too. My favorite. But I loved them so, I got so excited. It was so hilarious, because I was so genuinely happy they had them, that it was just crazy. Yeah. What is... I eat the most? Probably Chick-fil-A, because it's right up the street from where I live, and everybody in my house loves Chick-fil-A. We all do. It's so good. And I could, like, literally walk there and walk back in, like, 30 minutes. Something you intend to do. Please, oh yeah. I intend to do everything I need to. I'm prepared to live my dreams, and I really want to make my first short film this year, because I think it'll be a great experience for me and my friends to come together and do something that would be a lot of fun. My best friend Casey, she's in your class too, the same class period as me. Casey Gonzalez, she's amazing. Best friend in the entire world. I love her so much. Like, seriously, I would die for her. She's amazing. I'm looking at the time, like, getting stressed. Yeah. My dog scared me. Okay. What is something you biggest challenge? Not being so stressed, because I'm stressed right now because I have, like, 1 minute left. But I, like, have a lot of stuff that I need to... Just not being so stressed, because there's so much I'm putting on my plate which needs to not be there, and I'm gonna just try to get it all together in, like, a little baggie, and, like, hold the baggie with me, but, like, contain the baggie, you know? Just having everything organized in that little baggie. Biggest change? I will be... Oh, hi. That's my dog. But I don't know. I will be a lot more organized by the end of this year, because I think that this school year will be amazing for me. It'll be so good. Hi, hello. And I think I'll be, like, organized and ready for the challenges that life's gonna give me. But yeah. Describe your life in a song right now. Ew, my dog just slobbered. Bo, go! Out! Bo, out! Bo, out, please. I don't really have a song. Butterflies by Gabby Hanna. And yeah. After all this time, you give me butterflies, butterflies. Months go by, I still get butterflies, butterflies. Why'd you lie? Don't hurt my butterflies, butterflies. Watch them die, you kill my butterflies, butterflies. Yeah, and then probably Pillowcase by Gabby Hanna, too. Teardrop on my pillowcase, drip my mascara. I can't sing it right now, but it's Pillowcase by Gabby Hanna. Recommend it. Give a shout out to whoever you support in life. Casey Gonzalez, my best friend the entire world, has been there through freaking thick and thin. She is a real one. She's been there for me like when nobody was there. When you tie your shoe and all your friends leave except that one homie who stays behind and is there for you. That's my best friend right there, and she's there for me no matter what. And I'm there for her, and she's just amazing. I love her so much. Hunter Custer is her name. I love her so much. She's an amazing friend, and God, I love her so much. I don't know why, I just do. She was my friend at like districts and states for my acting, and she's just amazing. Yulitza Ramirez, she is. Oh my God, she's that friend who you go to when you actually have nothing. Like everything in the entire world was put on your shoulders. You go to her, and she's like, I will help you. I'm here for you. I'll help you do this work and make sure you have everything you need. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's it. I didn't realize that was it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, but this was such a fun thing to do. I'm probably gonna do this on my own a lot more, and like maybe even make like a YouTube series out of it. Even I might start with this one. But yeah, I'm really excited to be in this class, and yeah. Well, it was nice talking to myself, and can't wait to see this in 2021 on YouTube, or 2 minutes from now. Okay, well, Haley Long signing off. I'm Haley Long, and I'm recording the video diary halfway point on February 6th, the day after it was due. So love it for me. What was the okay? So the best thing that happened. I'm so tired. I went on a cruise. Somebody walked in.
Oh, you doing too much? I'm just grabbing the check.
Oh, okay.
You? Yeah, girl. Over it. She my girl. My girl? Yes. That's what I was. When y'all start?
Thanks. Okay, well, shit. Best thing, I saw Melanie Martinez and I went on a cruise. That was a lot of fun. We were saying, my mom was off and on in jail, so that wasn't fun. I'm in a supply closet, by the way. The school year is going really good. I'm having a lot of fun working on the musical theater showcase because I really like performing and working in it. It's really, really, really cool. Excuse. Something funny or good that happened in class at school. I hang out with, I'm trying to think. Something good that happened was I was elected, this was the beginning of the year, but I was elected student representative of the drama club, freshman representative, so that was really cool. I'm really happy. Scahill was gone September and October. What was something that happened through your mind about? I'm gonna be completely honest, I was really scared because I thought he was either really, really hurt or like. If you don't know what that is in sign language, it's dead. So that was scary because he was my favorite teacher and I didn't want him to be like, oh, Mr. Scale, seeing this. What's up, bro? You're like my favorite teacher, so. What did you do for Christmas? I stayed at home the day before. I was at my grandma's house. I spent some time there, and then I went home later that night and got my Christmas presents. Saw my sisters. No, it was the night before Christmas Eve that I spent the night with my presents and with my sisters and stuff. That was cool because I don't get to see them a lot. My younger sisters. Because I live with my dad and my mom's kids, but they live with their father's grandparents. What was the best thing you gave for Christmas? Honestly, I really think I got my mom a pair of leggings and she loves them. But that's not the best thing. I made my grandma like this big. I didn't do that. See, I tricked you there. No, I'm so awkward on videos, so if you realize that. But yeah, I gave my mom a pair of leggings. That's like pretty much my stepmom pair of leggings. She loved it. She loved that. Best thing you got for Christmas. I got two Jeffree Star palettes. If you don't know who that is, he's a makeup artist. He's really cool. And he has my palettes out, and I got some of his. One with Shane Dawson, Mini Controversy, and the conspiracy thing. My favorite. I love it. Best song. It must have been released that year. Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles is delicious. Sorry, there should be more questions. So that was really awesome. That made me really happy. I'm trying to think what else. The entire K through 12 album. Yeah. Pretty amazing. Moving on. Best movie. What were some movies that came out this year that were really good? It Chapter 2. Nope, that was 2017. No, that was this year. Yeah. It Chapter 2 was off the walls amazing. I loved that movie. Worst movie. It could have been in film class. The worst movie. I don't know. I don't watch movies I don't want to watch. So I have no really clue. What movie did I not like? I like pretty much everything I watch, so I'm just gonna do with them what we see in film. I mean, I don't know. Hardest thing to accomplish between now and the end of the school. I don't know. I think opening myself up more, because I'm a very closed off person. I don't like talking to people. I'm very antisocial. As much as it seems like I am in like class and stuff, I am very antisocial and I have very bad anxiety. Like very bad like social anxiety, and I don't like talking to people. It makes me really scared. Include a clip. I will put those. I don't have any like on my person. They're on my phone, but I'll send those too, I think. The beginning of 20 from like a decade, and looking back at the last 10 years, what did you think was the most important? I moved in with my dad. That was really big in my life, because it would be 13 years, I'm 14 now, 13 years I was being kept away from him by my mom, by my biological mother. I was being like, I wasn't allowed to see him, and I moved in with him. It was like crazy. So yeah, that's pretty significant. I changed a lot. I was that girl in 5th grade who wore guys' pants and guys' shirts, and everyone thought I was a boy. They're like, "Are you a boy?" And I'm like, no. Yeah, one girl, she's my best friend in the entire world. She called me ugly.
Hey, Chiquita.
Hi, miss.
I need a chair.
But yeah,
Space in here.
she called me ugly, fat, gross. That's great. A girl did, because I used to dress like, I wore guy pants and stuff, and she called me that. She's like, you look like a boy and you're ugly, and I'm like, offended.
There's nothing ugly about it.
Thank you. That's Brennan. She's cool. She's really sweet. But yeah, moving with my dad probably the most significant thing. Well, I don't know how to add clips to this thing, but I sure will diddly darn try. I'll probably turn this in, like, I'll probably leave and then turn this in, because this is, like, we're allowed to go do stuff. Okay. Well. Until the 3... Say your line.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.